So the FBI has come out with something new, Jordan.
Yep.
Our friends at Project Veritas have got this from a whistleblower. 2022 midterm election social media analysts cheat sheet.
And ask, what are election crimes? Of course, there's campaign finance crimes. We see that regularly. Election influence, improper, because you can't take money from foreign government. There's things like that. Voter intimidation, that's
crime.
Real. Voter suppression, real. But here's the two.
Listen to the words that they use, folks. We've heard these words before. Here we go.
They're not next to each other.
Nope, they're
intermixed
them
between
out.
all of the other things I just read. Disinformation is number 2 on this list under campaign finance, which would probably be the number 1 most violated election crime or prosecuted crime, I would imagine. And how do they define disinformation?
This is unreal.
In this FBI cheat sheet? False or inaccurate information with intent to mislead others. Disinformation campaigns on social media are used to deliberately confuse, trick, or upset the public. That is so broad.
Okay. Listen to the misinformation. False or misleading information spread mistakenly or unintentionally. A crime, you could be indicted by a grand jury, according to this FBI sheet, for misleading information spread mistakenly or unintentionally. No criminal intent necessary.
The two components of a crime are an evil act and an evil mind. You've got to have the actus reus and the mens rea in Latin. So you've got to have intent to commit a crime. You cannot commit a crime. You cannot be guilty of a crime. You cannot be should not be prosecuted for a crime that you have where you have acted in a manner that is by mistake or without intent. If you were to say to somebody, for example, that the voting poll place closes at 6 o'clock when in fact you were mistaken and it closed at 7 o'clock and that person didn't vote because they relied on you, you could be guilty of a crime here. Or if you could say that library is not a polling place anymore when in fact it is and that person doesn't vote because they thought that you had given them the incorrect information when you were mistaken, had no intent, you could be guilty of a federal crime according to this so-called cheat sheet.
It is a total violation of the First Amendment. It violates the due process clause of the Fourth Amendment. They are criminalizing thought and speech. It's absurd. You know what my hope is? I hope we find out tonight that this isn't real. But so far, it's been out for 24 hours, and the Department of Justice, as far as we can tell, has said nothing. So I think the news organization should be pushing to see what DOJ says about this, because this document violates everything a free republic stands for.